Phillip Hoffman. Phillip Hoffman, you're whose father?
I'm Ben Hoffman's dad.
You are, and Ben Hoffman, obviously, as our readers no doubt know, has a new show on Comedy Central called The Ben Show with Ben Hoffman.
That's right.
So I was talking to you a little bit before. I thought, hey, I could interview Ben, or I could interview you because you yourself kind of play a role in the show.
I do. Ben asks me advice via Skype, like we're doing now, on most of his shows. So it's an interesting thing for me and hopefully for him and hopefully for the show.
My first question to you is, how much are you getting paid to do this?
Not much.
Not much?
I'm happy to do it.
I just want to make sure that Ben isn't taking advantage of you.
I don't think he's taking advantage of me. I just hope that I'm adding some benefit to the show.
I think you are. I like it because, the show is already kind of reality based, where obviously there's a through line through each episode where there's a theme, and that theme is carried over into the very last minutes of the show. But it's also based in reality, so we get a sense of who Ben is, and I think it's cool that we actually see his family, or you at least.
Right. Well, yeah. I think we've actually done this before when he worked for a while on Current TV, and every once in a while he would call me and we'd do a little piece and he'd Skype with me. So it's not, we didn't just start this for the show, but I think that's sort of Ben's humor. He likes to do stuff that involves him personally, and tries to look at his life in general, which he thinks is pathetic. So I think that helps. That helps make the show funnier, perhaps.
Do you think his life is pathetic?
Well, no. I think that certainly as of late, it's been less than pathetic. More than pathetic. But he has. He's gone through spells of having trouble with making a go of it, but that's the entertainment world, and that's what life's all about. And I think his take on his own life has helped make some of his comedy, I think.
Were you always supportive of Ben's kind of career goals, or do you kind of wish he went into something else?
Well, it's interesting. I actually have two sons in the entertainment business, and I have a total of three sons. And one of my middle son is a member of the band called the Scissor Sisters. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but
of course.
But anyway, so I've been we've been had a history of some knowledge of what goes into the entertainment business. Ben has, been out in LA for about 12 years now. And you always wonder if your kids are going to be successful doing that. I think one thing that me and my wife has always talked about is we've sort of been very supportive and allowed them to try to let them do what they wanted to do. And it's been very interesting time to watch them kind of grow, and especially watch Ben kind of over the years do get to do more and more stuff, and it's pretty amazing for us to see him have his own show. So it's been pretty amazing ride for us.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to know what kind of kid Ben was. Was he a funny kid, or was he not so amusing to you and your wife?
Well, I think that's common in this industry. I think that a lot of times, we never thought, Ben kept to himself pretty much. I remember him mostly being in his room. I don't remember a lot of the things that happened in our house related to music,
Mm-hmm.
and all the kids played instruments, and all we had bands all over. My youngest son, who's now a doctor, he played the drums, and so everybody was over at our house because the drums were at our house, and everybody played music all the time. Ben was big playing the guitar and had bands all the time, but I never really. He was funny, but we never thought that that was anything that he would ever desire to do, would be to go, and actually go out and do comedy and things like that. So,
Right.
and I mean, he never did that when he was growing up here. So,
Right. Gotcha. Was
mhm.
he was he an easy kid to parent, or was he a challenge?
No, he was easy. I mean, I don't. He never caused us much trouble. I think, and we always, you never know. You always try to give your kids a good education and try to get them to go to college and all the things that parents like to do. And he was he was very agreeable to those things, I think whether he liked them or not. But one thing he always sort of chides us is that he he says that his life, he had such a nice life that it was our fault that he doesn't have the ability to make his funny comedy, because a lot of comedians have miserable miserable growing up lives that makes
Yeah.
them have more material for their comedies.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. You try to make things nice for your kids, and then they come back and tell you it was too nice, and it's your fault. Ben has his share of, had his share of problems growing up, but it was nothing major, and he, he'll read it. I think he'll be the first to say that he was a pretty good kid. Now, he certainly was a good kid. Luckily, never had major problems with any of our kids. So.
Well, that's good. That I would like to think that has something to do with your parenting.
I would like to think so too, but I can't promise that.
So there wasn't a time where you had to bail Ben out of any sort of trouble, or there was.
No, certainly no, no trouble with the law or things like that. Ben had some. There was a time in Ben's life where he was. We weren't sure what was happening with him, and he had some, some spells of not feeling good about himself and things like that, like
Yeah.
kids have. But there was no, we never had to go bail him out of jail or, save him from jumping off a bridge or anything like that. So,
What do you want for your son out of this show?
I would like, I would like Ben to be happy with the show, and I would like, obviously, he wants to continue having the show, and he wants to continue expanding it and do, and continue to do his kind of humor and have people enjoy what he does, and he wants to be able to continue, in the entertainment industry.